D&D presents the No BS Show. With your hosts, Chris Mines and Doug Duck. It's the No BS Show. Take it away, guys.
Oh, what happened? Got all whomped out here.
Yeah, I gotta select that.
On a Monday.
I'm already getting messages people can't get in
Already?
already. I guess,
Well, we have 8, so they allowed us to have 8.
allowed us to have 8. We're at our capacity, folks.
you have to wait till somebody drops off.
First off, want to thank all our veterans.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
First off, want to thank all our veterans out there. We appreciate what you do, what you've gone through, and I don't care what our government does, how bad they screw up. Us Americans appreciate you. Trust me. Thank you. Our military serving overseas in a homeland. Can't thank you guys enough. What you're going through. First responders, police, fire, EMS, nurses, doctors, tow truck drivers. I want to thank you guys. Numbers flying up, hospitals full, Doug. Here we go. So thank you. So, Doug, tonight, what we're going to start the show off, 13 military personnel were killed the other day from a suicide bomber. Hundreds of others were hurt, Doug. But, in that process, 13 of our military personnel got killed. One being from Berlin Heights, Ohio. It's kind of close. That's my hometown where I grew up, Edison High School. Max Soviak, Kip Soviak's his father was, a few years younger than me in high school. We got a clip. Are you ready to play that clip, Doug? We got a clip. Says it all. I don't even have to explain.
The last one.
Who am I? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Well, you're the man approaching.
Uh-huh.
All right.
What
Almost looked like they were cutting us off again.
What's that?
It almost looked like they're cutting us off again. Yep.
What's going on?
Nothing. Rob Cisco's on. Rob went to school with him at Edison. Yeah, that was Rob said Miss Soviak, one of our teachers. That was his grandmother. Just a small little tribute we can pay for the Soviak family. Our thoughts and condolences go out to the Soviak family plus the 12 others. And not only that, the couple, what was it, Doug? They said 3,000 we've lost in the Afghan war.
Yeah.
Over 3,000, I think, so it was. So our prayers go out to every family that's lost a child, brother, sister, husband, wife. What's going on right now is senseless, Doug. It's senseless. And before we get into some of the things you got planned, it's, big thing on TV. Well, our last troops come out. We're gone from Afghanistan. Our last troops are on the plane. Last plane left. Hundreds of Americans are still there, Doug. I just read, the translators that got hung last week. Remember I was talking about that? 60-some translators got hung. There were 60,000 translators and different people that helped either the United States military or the CIA. We handed them a death sentence for helping us. A death sentence. Our president of the United States sent over a list of names of Americans and different Afghans that helped us. And I believe gave them their address. Did he?
Yep.
Saying he's trying to expedite them to get to the airport safely. You handed them people a death sentence. Well, we can trust the Taliban. Sure you can. I don't know if you got that clip that I put into one room earlier, Doug. I'll show you what, if you got it, the Blackhawks, we'll show you what they're being used for.
We'll
show you what the Blackhawks, remember? We left them there, didn't blow them up.
Yep.
Yeah. And if we can play this clip, we'll show you what they're being used for.
Yeah, and all our clips are coming from the web because a lot of this stuff's hard to get downloaded.
Yeah, they don't want nobody downloading this shit.
So,
and they probably access video because this cast because of it. But we had an exit plan. Former President Trump had an exit plan. He wasn't leaving like this.
Right.
In the middle of the night, we said, poof, sprinkles, we're gone. We left our allies hang. And now, Doug, me and you were talking about it Saturday night. We see deaths come back into the United States from this war. We see it. Now it's hit home.
Right.
They had a vigil for Max last night. I didn't attend. A guy I know from Brown Heights works Corey. I talked to him. There had to be over 3,000 people at the vigil, which is an honor, But then you also got news stations there. What the fuck did they ever do for the kid? They're the ones that pushed for Biden.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed for Biden.
Let's show them what they're using our weapons.
Yeah, here's our Blackhawks. Here's our Blackhawks.
Let's see. And it's right here, and I think they get a close up here.
There's our Blackhawks. See what they're being used for, people? We fly our last troops out and leave today. And a Blackhawk goes up in the air.
They aren't airlifting somebody. They're hanging them.
They're hanging them with our Blackhawks. It's a proud day in the United States of America. Not for us patriots that don't believe in what's going on. You know, Biden should be real proud and his administration proud of himself for what's going on. Real proud. You know, Doug's got different things scheduled. I don't have a clue what the hell they are, and he won't tell me because I think he wants me to see a nutty tonight. But
no.
you know, the
go with
start
the
to show off. That's what our stuff's being used for. And what's his excuse, Doug? Well, I left it there for the Afghan government. I can't help it that they got taken over.
Speaking of that, let me see if I can. You're not going to be able to see if I bring it over there anyhow, but it's real weird. They you know what happened in 2008 here in the U.S.
What?
when the financial
Oh yeah, the recession.
started. Yeah,
The recession.
well, up until then, we were probably the most we ever gave was in 2006. 164,000 pieces of equipment we sent over to Afghanistan from 2003 to 2006. 2007 was a no year. I mean, we sent over about 134,000 pieces. Then when you get into 2008, 9, 10, and 11, we sent over about 350,000 pieces of equipment. They have $83 billion worth of equipment. And this is from Forbes. Forbes is the one who put this all together. But for example, they have 42,604 light tactical vehicles, 22,000 Humvees, 8,000 medium tactical vehicles, 1,000 recovery vehicles, 189 armored personnel carriers, helicopters. They have 110 M17 MD 530s. They have 60 transportation cargo planes.
C-130s. C-130s. We left there.
Yep. Reconnaissance planes, surveillance planes, 18
drones.
Let me see where the drones are.
Yeah,
they're on a different one. They got them broken out by different things. Surveillance balloons, 6. Unmanned air systems, 8. 22 ground-based operational surveillance systems, 120 radio monitoring systems, 16,000 night vision devices.
They didn't have. They didn't
have any of it. They have 599,000 rifles, pistols, machine guns, grenade launchers, shotguns, rocket-propelled weapons, and indirect fire weapons.
And just yesterday, I believe it was just yesterday, they shot some missiles at the airport, and we had to defend anti-missile defense up there and took them out. Where the fuck you think them missiles come from? Yes, scale crabs. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is treason at its highest.
Yes.
It's treason at its highest, and how they're going to get out of it is because the administration now says, well, we left it to support the Afghan government. We can't help it. They took off.
Before I wanted to remove that. Before we get too far into this, I want to show you something and see if you can pick out what the issue is here.
And Robbie's right. Why do we have a gun debate even going on right now in our country?
Exactly.
Bunch of hypocrites. That's why, Rob. Bunch of hypocrites. I still go with the Israel theory.
Watch this video and tell me what you noticed that just doesn't seem right.
Biden.
Could be that.
As you talked about Sergeant Nicole G., who was one of the 2 female Marines who were killed among the 13. She was the one who Instagram post holding the baby saying, "I love my job," just a few days ago. As you talked about.
Do you want me to answer?
Did you catch it?
It's this. Make me big.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. You got to rewatch it. It's not that.
I watched it.
I know you watched it. You didn't catch it.
I caught it.
Here
it is. He's doing this. When it's over, hey, what the fuck time is it? I got to get the plane. Who the hell, as the president of the United States, for a fallen soldier,
nothing should be in the way of that,
looks at their fucking watch to see what time it is? Who gives a shit what time it is? That's the most disrespect that I've seen, and I don't think I've ever seen a president disrespect a soldier like that. Yep. I don't think I've ever, never, ever. If Trump was at a fallen soldier, they had his undivided attention. It didn't matter. I've seen Trump, listen, and like we say, this ain't a Trump-Biden show. We say what we feel. I've seen Trump deviate. Remember the hospital scene, for example, Doug? I mean, he's walking through the hospital and there's some nurses in it, and he just stops and he walks over and starts talking to the nurses and doctors. He was in a car, the whatever they call that, you know, where they're going and they're leading the presidential car, and he made the guy stop, got out, and went over and talked to them firemen. Remember that, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And just since we're getting some comments here, last week we had a comment made on here, and it did get flagged.
Just so you know, Chris Stevens got himself, we're not going to repeat what he said. You all know what he said, but he got himself 3 days in the hole for it. You know, right during the show, actually. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. Why would you want to? Why would you do that? Why would you? And he honestly, he didn't even try to hide it. He didn't try to hide it.
No, and you know the president doesn't worry about time. It's everybody around him that has to.
No, you're all right, Kel. You're all right.
No, you can say whatever you want. We just give you a warning that they'll watch.
You're free to say whatever you want in these comments, but I will tell you that they're watching our little old show because Chris Stevens got flagged. What, Doug? It was. I don't even think the show was over, and I got.
All right.
You're free to say whatever the hell you want. I mean, it is what it is. But go ahead.
The president doesn't worry about time. It's everybody around him that has to worry about the time. They're the ones who tell him what he needs to do, which kind of leads us into the next piece of it. But they're the ones who set up his schedule, tell him where he needs to be. Okay, our next event's going to be this and that. He don't know that it's 2:00 or 2:15. You go on. He
shouldn't wear a watch.
Exactly.
He should not wear a watch.
Right.
Because sometimes, you know, you wear a watch, it's habit. That's the most disrespect I've ever seen. And it is what it is. We know what we're dealing with. You know, as far as I'm concerned, he sentenced couple hundred Americans to their death. What country? Here's a question I got out there, because it seems like we got some viewers that are going to get active in the chat. You know, we're hitting some nerves as well. We should. And I'm glad to see that, because if you ain't pissed off as an American right now, I'm not sure I want you to talk to me much, Doug. You know, if you're not pissed off as an American, I'm not sure, because I can't trust you.
You know what I was thinking about watching that video of a flag draped casket. They call it a coffin casket. That woman that took the flag, she was going to the Olympics, and she didn't want nothing to do with it, turned her back on it. And there's the ultimate sacrifice.
The ultimate. Let me tell you something. That video, and like I say, it hits home. You know what I mean, Rob Cisco? We grew up in Berlin Heights, but should hit home to everybody. If that video and the other one, before the mothers at the end of the casket on her knees, don't make a grown man tear up, something's fucking wrong with you. We have 20-year-old kids, 22-year-old kids, 18-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids, up to 30, 40-year-olds, Doug, that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for 20 years. 20 years to pull out. There's another TikTok video going around. I don't know which congressman it was, Doug. I sent it to you right not long before we get on. Congressman said a very key thing, pissed off. Says, now we have the Taliban 3.0. Difference is we've supplied them.
All right.
We've supplied them. So the next time, and there will be a next time we go in, we'll be fighting our own weapons. But not only that, stop and think of this. Are the Afghan people going to trust us? Hey, we need an interpreter. Yeah, I've seen what happened the last
right.
time.
Yep.
You know, hey, can you help us? Yeah, okay. Why? So you just pick up and leave? You know, like I said it last week and I maintain it this week. It brought a tear to my eye, Cal, and it instant anger. And if it doesn't to a person, if that doesn't to somebody, I don't need to be your friend. Stay away from me because I can't trust you. I can't trust a person that doesn't get angry and upset seeing that. You know what I'm saying, Doug? But it's, you know, if you're a female, I don't even care if you're a transgender female, and you voted for Biden, you're a disgrace to women's rights because you set the Afghan women back hundreds, if not thousands, years.
Definitely 20.
You set them back 20 years. Everything that we fought for and they fought for 20 years and started having a life is gone now. Gone.
So the big bubble that the mainstream media is trying to break is...
Hold on a minute, Doug. Put Jeff Baker's comment up there.
It was up there.
Was it up there?
Mm-hmm.
No, Jeff, they're not coming here. We're fucking bringing them here.
We are. And if they were having trouble, just tell them to go down around to Mexico and come up that way.
Yeah.
It's easy way in. Doors
open.
open.
We're taking their temperatures and we're giving them COVID tests and we're making sure they're vaccinated, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yes. Go ahead, Doug. I'm sorry.
So anyhow, the mainstream media is trying to break this little bubble that's going around is whether Biden knew that this would fall as quickly as it did or not. The people close enough to it are saying, yeah, he was told it's not going to last. It's going to be a couple of days and they're going to come rushing in there and they're going to take over. And he still decided to do it. But did he really decide to do it? I'm not sure he really decided to do it. I think it could be Kuntala is also behind it.
Kuntala was in Vietnam.
She came back.
Well, yeah, afterwards. Remember she had the Havana disease? What was that? Havana sickness or whatever the hell? What is it?
Yeah, her team had it.
Yeah, well, she had it too, and they were grounded because they couldn't leave. Isn't that amazing how they were grounded through a lot of this shit and they didn't leave?
Yeah, they got back Saturday because she was in meetings at the White House. But here's Trump getting taken off guard by a Fox News reporter because he's going to explain a little bit at the beginning of why he's
This ought to be good.
really not in charge. Let's see. Like I said, all these are going to have to be shared off the internet because I can't get them downloaded because
Yeah, imagine that.
they're watching all that
Or
stuff.
watchful eye, YouTube, Apple, Google, Facebook.
Right. All right. Let's watch this.
More questions. Wait. Let me take the one question from the most interesting guy that I know in the press. That's you.
Mr. President, there had not been a U.S. service member killed in combat in Afghanistan since February of 2020. You set a deadline, you pulled troops out, you sent troops back in, and now 12 Marines are dead. You said the buck stops with you. Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2 weeks?
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened of late. Here's the deal. You know, I wish you'd one day say these things. You know as well as I do that the former president made a deal with the Taliban that he would get all American forces out of Afghanistan by May 1. In return, the commitment was made, and that was a year before. In return, he was given a commitment that the Taliban would continue to attack others, but would not attack any American forces. Remember that? I'm being serious. No, I'm asking you a question because before. No, wait a minute. I'm asking you a question. Is that accurate, the best of your knowledge?
Do you think that people have an issue with pulling out of Afghanistan or just the way that things have happened?
I think they have an issue that people are likely to get hurt. Some, as we've seen, have gotten killed, and that it is messy. The reason why, whether my friend will acknowledge it or has reported it, the reason why there were no attacks on Americans, as you said, from the date until I came into office, was because the commitment was made by President Trump. I will be out by May 1st. In the meantime, you agree not to attack any Americans. That was the deal. That's why no American was attacked.
Basically, you said you squarely stand by your decision to pull out.
Yes, I do, because look at it this way, folks. And I have another meeting for real. But imagine where we'd be if I had indicated on May the 1st, I was not going to renegotiate an evacuation date. We were going to stay there. I'd have only one alternative: pour thousands of more troops back into Afghanistan to fight a war that we had already won relative to why the reason we went in the first place. I have never been of the view that we should be sacrificing American lives to try to establish a democratic government in Afghanistan, a country that has never once in its entire history been a united country and is made up, I don't mean this in a derogatory, made up of different tribes who have never, ever gotten along with one another. And so, as I said before, and this is the last comment I'll make, we'll have more chance to talk about this, unfortunately, beyond, because we're not out yet. If Osama bin Laden, as well as Al Qaeda, had chosen to launch an attack when they left Saudi Arabia out of Yemen, would we have ever gone to Afghanistan? Even though the Taliban completely controlled Afghanistan at the time, would we have ever gone? I know it's not fair to ask you questions, it's rhetorical, but raise your hand if you think we should have gone and given up thousands of lives and tens of thousands of wounded. Our interest in going was to prevent Al-Qaeda from reemerging, first to get bin Laden, wipe out Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, prevent that from happening again. As I've said 100 times, terrorism is metastasized around the world. We have greater threats coming out of other countries, a heck of a lot closer to the United States. We don't have military encampments there. We don't keep people there. We have over-the-horizon capability to keep them from going after us. Ladies and gentlemen, it was time to end a 20-year war. Thank you so much.
Unbelievable. Blow me up for a second. While we were watching that, I was talking to Robbie, texting. He got 30 days for his comments on here, and he said nothing out of line, Doug.
What comment did they say?
I don't know. Rob Cisco. They didn't say. They give him 30 days for his comments on our show.
Trump never did that shit. He checks his freaking watch. Now that Biden has armed a terrorist, the gun debate is over in our country. We should just nuke that place and open a glass factory.
That's what probably got him 30 days.
I ain't buying anything this administration is shoveling. Worthless president I've ever seen in my life.
What deserved Facebook? Seeing how you're fucking watching, what comment deserved 30 days?
Right, freedom of speech. Say what you want.
What comment? See, this is what I meant, Cal. You're free to say whatever you want. I can't help the consequences of Facebook. Not sure why they allow me to stay on here. Really don't know, Doug, as much as I've said.
I agree.
I mean, but just now he got 30 days, Dean. What did he say? What did he say? And we're gonna go off. We're gonna go off for a second here, Doug. Just off base a little. What did that man say? He can't get on Facebook for more than 3 days, Doug. And I've seen his comments. I've seen a lot. You'll let the fucking Taliban have a Facebook page, but throw Rob Cisco off for 30 days again in Facebook jail for these comments?
And usually, and listen, everybody should agree here. Usually they'll warn you and say, hey, we're getting complaints,
Ronnie's
whatever.
for 30 days now.
I think so too. I don't understand it. Well, yes, I do understand it.
Yeah, it's called censorship.
Yeah, they're censoring.
The same reason we can't download these videos, Doug.
Yeah.
Our country is in shambles. We got a bumbling president. You just seen this. There's nothing he said. He blames Trump.
Well, if you didn't understand what he was saying, that's what they wanted. If you were just in confusion and going, what is he talking about? That's why. But
we're not. He's the guy that's saying all this shit. We're commenting about what he's doing and what he's saying. We have a right. We have a right to comment. Robbie Cisco said nothing out of line. Nothing out of line.
I agree.
When you let the Taliban have Facebook pages, but you throw a guy like him who served this country, Doug, he served this country. He is a veteran. And you throw him off and give him 30 more days for what he said there's something seriously wrong with this shit.
I agree. Now, going back to who's in charge here, I want to play this one because this is also it's only 18 seconds, and he says it right at the beginning, so you'll know what I'm talking about.
We will find them and we will get them out. Ladies and gentlemen, they gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC, who wishes to get out of Afghanistan.
Let me get this off here. I was instructed to call on Kelly O'Donnell, NBC.
I was given a list and instructed.
Who's
instructing you?
Right. You're the president of the United States. Call on whoever you want.
Who instructed you? Are we going to get 30 days because we asked who? Yeah, they do it. They trust me, Cal. We're going to get 30 days because we asked who instructed them. We have a president of the United States that doesn't have a backbone in his body and is not running this country. Not running this country. He's not making the decisions he does make. Look what happened. Did the Intelligence Committee tell him this is going to happen? You're damn right. July 8th, they told him. Before July 8th, they told him.
Right. And he came on and said it'll never happen.
And the question was asked, you know, as much as I hate the media, they don't just think of a question on the spot. Well, the Intelligence Committee, we're informed the Intelligence Committee advised you that if you did this, it was going to fail. Somebody leaked that out from the Intelligence Committee,
Right,
Doug.
right.
You think, you know, at least Trump was smart enough to realize that, you know, they got a leak.
Which, you know, here's the difference in the Trump organization. I said that you're going to see something really strange here. He had a 92% turnover rate in his presidency. So that's 4 years. In the first year, let me look. In the first year, his turnover rate was 35%. Have you heard of any Biden folks resigning?
None.
So remember Trump, they would resign if he was drinking Pepsi instead of Coke, or he went to McDonald's instead of Burger King. This guy, wouldn't you think that some of these people would be saying, I'm not standing with you. You're going to pull these troops out and watch what happens. I'm not standing by for that. Not one person has said that.
Oh.
Our military is, but you know,
some of them are.
Yes, he's the commander in chief. And I was in the military. Whatever your commander in chief wants you to do, that's what you're going to do. You can't just say no. And I know that some have spoken out about it, and I know one that's been fired. They call it fired. I don't know what that means, but they've been fired. And some of them have been warned, don't say anything more about it, or you'll find yourself discharged.
A leak happened in the Trump administration. It was taken care of. That leak was plugged right away.
Yep, and it's part of that turnover rate. You're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. But the thing of it is this. It's almost hard to move on from this idiot. But the thing of it is we have no leadership. There's a picture going around. We ain't gonna put it up, Doug. I sent to Doug. China has it in their newspapers, mocking Biden, mocking him in their papers.
Biden's in a military uniform,
And
camouflaged,
and it says loser.
Yep, and he's got his hands behind his head and he's running.
Yeah, it says loser on the front of it. Or you know, there's not a single ally that's going to trust us for a while, Doug. There's not anybody in the Middle East, if we go to help somebody, going to trust us. In 8 months, this is what we've become in 8 months. And I'll say it again. If you're a female, or even a transgender identifying as a female, and you voted for Biden, stay the fuck in your house. You go out when your man tells you to go out. And oh, by the way, you better be clothed up just your eyes. 90
Right.
degrees, I don't care. There better not be no skin showing. You better only go out when he goes out and he allows you to go with him.
Can you imagine what that'll do for racing? That'll help out a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Stay in the house. I'm going to the races.
Or you're going to the races too. Well,
Mm-hmm.
somebody over there.
I was trying to, giving a hint here. I know she didn't vote for Biden, though, so she's safe.
All right.
But that's what you did to the Afghan women.
Now, you're president of the United States. You got this whole, let's say you really made a mistake and you pulled out troops in Afghanistan too early. All the shit went down. Last week, what would you be doing?
I'd be in the Oval Office wondering how to fix this.
Yeah, that's what probably most of us would be doing. Last week, what he was doing was calling Democrats about this stimulus package that he wants to get for the whatever that he's calling it, Great America Stimulus Package, whatever that is. What do you have? What is it?
Infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure plan. That's what he was doing last week.
And listen up.
We will have no viewers.
We are in trouble with the rest of the world, Joe. But listen up.
We're gonna have no viewers next week.
You're all gonna get thrown off. We create these. This ain't a creation. This ain't a smokescreen. This is fucking real. Afghanistan's real. But while we're looking at all that, I'm telling you, Congress, just like they always do, is slipping shit through the door, man. $1,200 a month per person for 1 year. Can't believe they 30 days in a hole for what I don't know. I don't get it. That's gonna bother me. $1,200 a month per person for a year.
You don't want that?
It's in the infants. No. And don't tell me send your check back. Don't tell me
I'm
that.
not. I'm just asking.
But I'm just saying, no.
Send it.
We can't get employees in this country now. We cannot get employees in this country now because of what we created. Now they're going to hand them more. I'm telling you, all this infrastructure, I'd rather they just come out and say, this is a beginning of socialism structure bill. Yeah, Jeff. It'd be the last time I watched Jeff. The old man. What the hell's the old? I can't remember the old man.
Right.
They do look like. I seen that thing up on Facebook. Believe me, it's the same concept. Somebody else got their hand up fucking Biden's ass. Trust me. Walter.
That's it. Yeah.
We'll refer to Biden as Walter from now on.
Yeah.
Contilla and Walter.
Right. That way it will throw off everybody that's monitoring us.
Yeah.
So,
Walter.
So if you
should have said that, Walter should have been done.
I don't know really. Well, I did see a couple posts where people actually thought this was the greatest thing in the world, what we did. But for the most part, I haven't really seen everybody that I talked to about it has a plan they would have used just having a conversation. You just think about it. Would you? No, I would have probably did this, and this. Why wouldn't our government think that? And Walter
and Contilla ain't got 2 ounces of brains between the two of them. I'd be better off asking my little grandbaby, Malia, how should we have pulled out? How should we have pulled out?
Right. Well, I would have got all our toys and took them home.
Oh, Papa, I want the bubblegum tape. Then we'll discuss it.
Right. And I want the armored personnel carriers.
Yeah, she's
them
only
home
4 years old to negotiate with me. It's got more common sense than Walter.
Right. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I feel sorry for anybody that was in Afghanistan that fought for our country and their country, and then to watch it all just fall
Go
apart
away. Go away.
in less than a week.
Let me ask this question again to you YouTube people behind the scenes and you Facebook pricks that are behind the scenes. Let me ask this question again. Show me what country in our history that we haven't went in and occupied in one way or another that we still do not have bases there, Doug. What country? None. Now Afghanistan. We not only just pulled out and not occupied, we left them. Here you go, Taliban. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas in August.
We didn't have any use for this stuff.
You know, hey, blow it up. And here's where the treason comes into play. Stop and think of this. Here's where the treason comes into play. And this is why they're trying to hide this so much. Our intelligence committee, I'm sure it's CIA, intelligence committees, military, all told him. We know more than a month and a half ago, Doug, because he made that statement July 8th. All told him this was going to happen. This was going to happen. And the son of a bitch still left all our stuff there for them to use, knowing that them people told him this was going to happen. That's where the treason comes into play. It's treason against the United States. I don't care who you are.
And
Not impeachment. Not impeachment.
Correct.
Treason.
You need to be court-martialed.
Mm-hmm.
As the president and commander in chief, you would go to a court-martial, not a jury of your peers.
And in my opinion, where you're going to see this starting to take place is there are some Democrats in Congress and some Democrats in the Senate sitting back going, this ain't right. This ain't right. And they're turning, Doug. They're turning.
Mm-hmm. I just read something today on Trump, and I can't remember what it was, but he basically put his finger right on it and said, you should have known this was going to happen, Walter.
Don, your comment, unfortunately, it ain't just terrorists now. There's,
Citizens.
There's more than that. I mean, it's been good, Don. I'll see you in 30 days probably now too. But
yes.
The problem is you can't. The problem is the media, I think, is getting tired of it too.
I heard that on the way home from my long trip Saturday. Yes, the Clinton News Network can't even spin this into anything that resembles being okay. They're really questioning it too.
And they're responsible. They're the ones who are responsible. They backed him.
It was a vote against Trump, not for Biden, just against Trump.
You hate Trump more than you love America is what it was. That's exactly what it comes down to. Look, I mean,
let me say this. For those of you who were in the military, if you left an M16 in a foreign country, what would have happened to you?
Leavenworth.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Well, we leave fucking Blackhawks. It's military protocol. You have to blow that up if you can't take it out in a hostile area. Right. The technology. We here. You don't think the Taliban ain't sharing? I love the comment. I love the comment. Well, the ISIS-K is worse, and they're not associated with Taliban. And Al-Qaeda is separate too. You just heard them say different tribes. And that's what it is. You know, he was treading water on how he said it, but that's what it comes down to, different tribes. It's more than that, Chaz. There was more than that. There was 100, wasn't there, Doug?
106,
Hell, we left.
I think.
Yeah, we left C-130s. But you don't think they talk? They got one objective. They might fight each other, but they got one objective that they all agree on. They hate the United States. One of the best things I've seen on Facebook in a while, and it wasn't good at all. It's terrible. But while we're teaching our kids on how to be tolerable, acceptance, and this new wave that we got going on, this
CRT.
bullshit wave, CRT, you know, give this, that, it's okay, here's a participation trophy. At 8, 10 years old, they're teaching their kids how to kill Americans.
Yeah.
That's a fact, straight out fact. Yeah. Jeff, you didn't watch last week. What'd I say, Doug? My theory, conspiracy. You want to get into conspiracy theories? I'll put one of my conspiracy theories out there. Don't mean shit. It was left for the Taliban and everything. They knew the Taliban was going to take over. President Biden hates Israel more than he loves the United States. And he's praying to God Taliban goes after Israel. All right, go ahead. You know,
Yeah.
I see in the
equipment that we forgot.
Yeah, I see in the streets. You know, I haven't lived a white privileged life.
Yes, you have.
You know, like I'm being told, but you know, I've been in some bad places. You always see in the streets that smaller guy, kind of scraggly looking, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody goes up twice his size, pissing with him, and that dude just beats the living shit right out of that big guy in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
That's Israel. That's Israel. Go piss with them. It won't take long. Trust me, they're not going to play. And we don't have Israel as an ally right now. Trust me, not with Biden.
Oh, we don't have anybody now.
No.
Canada.
We don't have Canada. They're like, you know what?
If we could detach.
Yeah, hey, you know, what do you guys say about this? Hey, COVID's bad. We're extending until September 21st.
We can't talk till after COVID.
Yeah, we're sorry. Borders closed, folks, till 21st of September, and we're probably going to extend that out till sometime
till January 20th, 2024.
Yeah, yep. You know, we have no allies. We have no friends.
You are right. We done did it.
Yes, it sure is.
This is crazy,
Sean. It is, and people need to take notice to that. But we're not on here to pick a political side. I'm registered Democrat to this day. I watch the board light up. You're a fucking idiot. No,
you probably want to close your garage door in case somebody comes
but
by.
I am. I don't vote that way. I don't vote that way. So you can be whatever political side you are. We're here. We'll voice our opinions, and trust me, we could do a show every day with the material this administration gives.
Yeah. Like we said a couple weeks ago, we're just giving you stuff that affects you. A lot of it attaches to the administration. Even if Trump was in and this was going on, we would still be saying the same things. We wouldn't have said, "Oh, it's all right." You know, he knows what he's doing. No.
Yeah, I do, Joe. Someday, someday I'll change. You know, I listen. There's just as much shit faces, rat bastards as Republicans up there in Capitol Hill too. Trust me.
The United Nations is probably going to expel us.
Yeah, they're not happy with us, Ron. They are not. NATO and them are not happy with what we did. They're going to be like, you know, they've already had a meeting. What, Doug? This week, wasn't it? Last week. towards
Last
the end
week.
of last
Yeah.
week, and they were not happy. And I mean, there was some yelling going on, and it was about the United States doing what we just did. You know, because all NATO, United Nations, all these places were involved in this to fight terrorism. Terrorism won. Terrorists won.
Mm-hmm.
They won. So we'll move off that, I guess, Doug, huh? What, you had some other shit that you wouldn't tell me about.
No, nothing.
You thought I'd flip out on this stuff, and I'm
No.
close, but
No, this is all.
I can tell you what's got me flipped out. 30 days. What'd he say?
I agree with that.
What did he say, Facebook?
in-
Evidently, you're watching our show. You're watching and you're monitoring.
Pop a comment in there. Let us know.
What did he say?
said.
Facebook monitors. Come right up in the chat room instead of sending us a private message, you chicken shit bastards. Pop a message up in and tell us what he said. What did he say?
Because in the country that we live in, I don't know what country you guys are from, but in the country that we live in, we're free to say pretty much anything we want to say.
Not on Facebook. Hey, when you sign on to Facebook,
they might be a different country.
You sign on to Facebook, you have to go through a scroll that's higher than my garage ceiling. And what do? You go right to the bottom, go click, and you don't read the fine print. They can monitor, they can do whatever the hell they want. It's private business.
Yeah,
they can monitor your chat rooms, everything.
I think the only thing that you can't really say is you're going to do harm to Walter.
He didn't say he was doing harm to Walter.
That's what I'm saying.
How many people have you seen on Facebook say what he said? Are they giving 30 days to everybody?
How are they keeping track of all this?
I mean, I called it out on Stevens last week with what he says. We'll probably get it for that one. You know, I mean, but
yeah.
But you know, do I believe that any? I know you guys are going to light the board up when I say this. This is still the United States of America, and everybody's due to a fair trial, fair process. Do I believe anything outside of that should happen? No, I don't. It makes us look worse. It'll spin us worse. Do I believe he should be tried for treason and go through due process? Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I do. Other than that, it's, you know, your alarms are going off. That's YouTube. We think that you might have stirred some shit that nobody wanted to deal with.
Right. We've been trying to keep the media quiet about it, and then you guys run on your podunk show and just start jappering about anything you want to japper about.
We're going to talk all kinds of shit that we don't want to address. We're just taking that shit down. We think you may have given some medical. We think you may have given medical Let's get on to that.
Okay.
Let's get on to that. Numbers are up. Numbers are up.
Speaking of numbers are up, so I got bells and whistles going off everywhere.
Yeah, that's Facebook dinging you. Hey, okay. Asshole.
Yeah. Wait till you're done.
This is Duper fuck. I'm getting tired of your shit. If that co-host you have says one more thing about Facebook, what are you going to do? Throw me off?
Okay. Watch this and tell me what you think's happening. There's some audio to this, but can barely hear it. But we'll watch and see what it says, or what happens here. Ready? They're in a classroom.
Yes, sir. 100% agree.
And this video breaks here in just a second or two, and then you're going to see the results of this.
I know you're doing things too.
They're dragging him.
Dragging who?
That
dude?
Kid, yeah. You know what that was about?
What?
He didn't have a mask on. The school called the police.
The school called the police because the kid didn't have a mask on.
Right.
And they drug him out of school?
And it's policy So he was breaking policy.
What
They
state?
called this was in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Well, you fucking hillbillies you giving me less hope for down south now.
We didn't even know you had cops down there.
Yeah, you liberal bastards. See where the liberals are coming out of the hills.
So
The hills have eyes, Doug.
Here's my whole deal about it. They drag him out because he wasn't going willingly. He doesn't have a mask on. They tell him he has to have a mask. He doesn't put it on. So they call the police. Police come in and say, you need to put a mask on or we're going to take you out. They handcuff him and they take him out because he doesn't put a mask on. First things first. The police cannot enforce a policy. The only thing I can think of is they said that he was trespassing, but he wasn't.
Let's revert back last April, May.
Mm-hmm.
Erie County Sheriff Paul Sigsworth.
Right. Yep.
Retired Sandusky Police Chief John Orzak
Yep.
was on our show.
Yep.
And why they were on our show was two reasons.
We had questions.
We had questions about the curfew. Remember, Doug? We had questions about the curfew.
Yeah.
And we had questions about the mask. And in a nutshell, to take an hour and a half long show and dilute it down into 2 seconds, basically, they both said, we're not the mask police. We'll take it, turn it over to the prosecutor. They can deal with it.
Right. And that's what they would do. Unless the shopkeeper wanted the person removed, and they would tell them that they would need to leave. And if they didn't, they would remove them from that. Now, this is a school. This is all different. This isn't personal.
Minors. These are minors. And it's public.
It could have been college, but regardless.
It looked like high school. It looked like high school.
Guess it's a piece of information I should have looked at, huh?
Well, and the thing of it is even college, a lot of colleges are public.
But if I'm the police officer responding there, I'm number one, not putting them in handcuffs. Number two, I'm going to say, listen, you need to do this or they're going to throw you out. As the school, I would have said, when this class is over, you come see me because you're not coming back in here until you have a mask on. Exactly. What if a teacher done that? There'd be a whole different story going on.
Oh, it'd be national news. We'd be in an uproar. The problem I got is this. Once again, I hate to say this. That area, I should say. Okay, that area, whatever procedure policies they got for the police. Once again, putting our police in a bad situation, Doug, to be the bad guy.
But still, I mean, if I'm a police officer and I'm called to something like that, I'm going, there's not a lot I can do here. I'll go down and talk to him, but I can't drag him out and take him to jail.
Well, that's what he did.
It's not a law. I seen it on Facebook, so it's got to be true. A mandate, an order, all that is not law.
It's not law. It's not law. And we went through this last year. A mandate and order. It's a fine line, an order. When you're under a state of emergency and orders are put out, Doug, we went through this. An order under a state of emergency is temporary.
And binding.
But it's temporary.
Right.
A mandate isn't law. Mark, he could, but still, if he works for the school, he's contracted to the school through the police.
Pretty sure it said police on the back.
I mean, he could be a DARE officer or whatever stationed at school, but it said police on the back.
Right.
Now, is COVID real? Yep.
Think so?
Is there a problem? Yeah. Is there a problem with it right now? Yep. Here's my question that I've asked several people that I know. Last year in the heart of all this, how many people did you know actually had it? And, we knew a few, Doug. You had it. I know I had it before it all started in January, my family, but how many people did you actually know testing? You knew a few here and there, a few.
Yeah, right.
Scattered, very, and the deaths there was deaths being, but, for the most part, a lot of people on the show, we didn't know too many that died or whatever, We're at 5,000 the other day. I don't know what today was, up over 4, I think it was. We're floating between 3,000 to 5,000 daily numbers in the last 2 weeks. I think it's been. I know a whole bunch of people that's got it now, Doug.
So do I.
I know people that are dying from it firsthand.
So do I.
And what's scary is this, and I don't want to hear, well, the Delta variant, the Lambda variant, last year was the Alpha variant. I don't want to hear that. I mean, we've got people vaccinated that are dying every day. We got people vaccinated that are in the hospitals every day. And I know after the vaccine deal, I know what they said. It lessens the symptoms. It doesn't prevent you from catching it, the whole 9 yards. So don't even come at me with that. But I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand what's going on, I guess. How we put us all, the whole nation, turned us upside down.
Lockdown
And everything else. And now, in my opinion, it's worse now, Doug, than it ever was last year. And now we're just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I came from Wisconsin.
Oh, Chaz, yeah. No, it didn't come from China. True story. China put it out. China put this out.
Yeah. So it's got to be true.
Last week, right? Was it last week?
Yep.
One day last week, towards the end of the week. China put it out in their socialist newspaper, whatever it is they give out in their news. The coronavirus was created in a lab in Wisconsin, the United States. That's what China and them are saying now.
So
you understand China's holding up everything that we, our computer chips, this, that, causing all kinds of mess ups over here with holding up stuff. The ports closed. They can't ship. They can't this. Do you guys understand? We're still shipping wheat, grain for them to live every day. Remember when the farmers got mad and the farmers turned on? Well, because Trump said, ain't sending no grain or wheat.
Yeah, right.
You guys don't want straight? No, we're not sending this.
Right. And he got chastised for that.
Yeah, you're paying a 40% tax on our stuff. We're coming in because we got to pay. You know what I mean? When we're selling it to them, they charge us. What was it, 35 or 38%, Doug, to export it over to them? Well, we're not sending you none. Everybody remember how quick that went away? And all of a sudden, China, okay. No, they can do whatever we want. This administration keeps sending them food. Keep sending it.
Look, this guy don't trust China.
Yeah, well, trust me. You ain't alone. You might get 30 days too.
Yeah, watch what you say there.
Candace Owens. She's chirping up again, Doug.
You know what? I thought so. I thought I seen something.
Candace Owens starting to get vocal again. Everybody pay attention. Go like Candace Owens page and listen what I don't care if you agree with me or not. I don't care. Candace Owens. Go listen to her. She'll tell her how it is. And Chaz up 30 days. You get 3 days.
Uh-huh.
And she sued Facebook and the fact checkers. Go. Remember that, Doug? We put that up and it only got 28 people reached. Facebook clamped that right away, buddy. Where she sued Facebook, and sued the fact checkers, and if you research where the fact checkers for Facebook, it comes right from China.
Now, she's not political. She's a writer, correct?
She's an activist.
Activist, okay.
Um,
I think I got her.
I'm telling you right now, Candace Owens is, well, Facebook's clamped her down. You know, we'll probably,
not
how many
really.
viewers do we got right now?
18.
Yeah, we put Candace Owens link up there and we'll go to 6 all of a sudden.
All right. Well, I just did, so we'll see what happens.
Sprinkles.
Yeah.
But here's my problem. Here's my problem. The vaccine, the masks, everything. Okay. My choice, my body. My body, my choice. That's what it. We had that shoved down our throat for years. My body, my choice. It's not no more. They want to abandon that theory and say it's your body, but it's our choice.
Right.
I understand. I understand the mask. I understand. What I don't understand is you give me one of these masks that, you know, Jim Bob's grandma made, and everybody thinks cool because it's got a cigar sticking out, you know, whatever. And I go inside the mask, and the smoke goes right through the mask.
Right.
What? Well, it's preventing. What's it preventing? If I cough in my mask, it's going out. It's going through somebody else's. At the beginning of the pandemic, we heard from Dr. Fauci himself. Dr. Fauci himself. The N95 mask is the only thing that's going to work. Remember that, Doug? Wearing a mask will hurt you. Wearing it, you know, then all of a sudden, you know, he wants 2 masks being worn. Remember that deal?
Yeah.
I want you to wear 2 masks.
Yeah.
Even though he's sitting at a baseball game without one on, I want you to wear 2 masks. You know, just like herd immunity. It was a terrible word in the beginning. 5-6 months ago, if you get the vaccine and we have herd immunity, this will go away.
You know, there's another word that the government uses in legislation that I haven't heard since I was a kid is the word queer.
Yeah.
It seems like a derogatory term right now, but they use that in their legislation about the alphabet people.
LG, what is it? Lesbian, gays,
LGBTQ plus.
You know, ABC.
Right. Right.
What the fuck do we got but me? You know, I mean,
Right.
But yeah, and we pointed that out a few months back. Remember that, Doug?
Yes. Yep.
We pointed out, and Doug was reading it, and he said queer, and it was talking about the transgender, gays, lesbians, and it put in there queer. What? Did they really just say this?
Right. Yeah. Yep. It's in the legislation.
Well, I mean, they only have a 2-year supply of cotton.
Yeah, but what he's saying is, where are they getting it?
We're shipping it there. We're not going to stop them. You know, we got a president says,
you need it?
Trucks,
Okay, we'll
them
send
trucks
it over.
can sit down at Kentucky Speedway and we don't care. You want some?
Right.
Do
you need weapons?
Yeah, we're out of weapons right now because the Taliban's got them, but I can go probably negotiate a deal for you.
Right. But we have some cotton we could send.
You know, the same thing, stop and think of this. The same thing that just went on with the Taliban and Biden's administration and everything. Remember the name Oliver North?
Yes, he was on the radio on my way home during that 3-hour drive.
Any of you people remember the name Oliver North?
Yeah, I do. I thought he was the greatest.
Called the Iran-Contra scandal.
Yep.
Remember that? It was all about gun smuggling.
Yep.
And they hung them out to dry. We were selling them guns and got caught, Doug. And we hung people out to dry for it.
Mm-hmm.
He's the famous one in front of, Senate hearing,
Yep,
Congress
I
hearing. I
watched all
plead
of
the
that.
fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, they didn't like that either. They were
Ronald
gonna
Reagan hung him out to dry. I don't recall ever, now it's okay. It's acceptable. We're not saying anything. We wanted somebody's head back then. Remember, Doug? United States wanted somebody to hang.
Yeah.
Oh God, I said it. Oh shit, I'm gonna get 30
Oh
days
no, you are.
for the Iran counter scandal, which was a lot less than what went on.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Let me take.
You better take a look, Paul, at who owns Smithfield Meats, who owns what, Doug, what was it after Smithfield purchased from a China organization? They own what, 70% of our processing plants for pork, chicken, and meats?
Yeah, don't you remember when the whole thing went down with the pipeline? They shut it down.
Yeah.
The next thing they were going to target was the meat packing places.
You're breaking up. Maybe they're going after you this time.
No, well, I am putting a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah.
Is it better?
But yeah. But what I'm saying is China's not only went to Africa and bought up a bunch of farmland. They've come to the United States and we sold them a shitload of farmland. Where Bill Gates is buying up farmland. That's the quiet. You don't hear nothing out of Gates right now. He's buying. You ain't kidding, Cal. That's what I'm saying. And nothing's happening. Nothing. But Bill Gates is buying up a bunch of farmland. China's buying up processing plants and everything. Stop and think of what's going on.
Don't forget about the Bilderberg Group.
Yeah, the Bilderberg Group. We preach it every week. Nobody ever brings it up except Ronnie. New World Order.
Yep.
New World Order. Bilderberg Group. Research them.
So Tammy says that Gates owns the most farmland.
Bill Gates, right now, is the biggest farmland owner in the United States. The same bastard that says we gotta remember that Biden, even that dumbass. Somebody had their hand up Walter's ass when he says we should go down to the equivalent of two hamburgers a week is all the meat we should eat.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't say that, people. He said we should only eat enough meat to equivalent to 2 hamburgers a week. When Bill Gates comes out with this, well, the cow feces, cow shit, is putting too much methane and that up in the air, and it's hurting the ozone.
So I bought a farm.
So I'm buying farms, and I'm going to do away with that, and we should create synthetic meat. Synthetic meat. You pay attention. At the end of the day, at the end of all this, if something's not done, the Bilderberg Group will run the New World Order.
Mm-hmm.
They've already tried. That drunk bitch Pelosi, if you can go back to the first stimulus package, that drunk bitch wanted the digital dollar. Remember that, Doug? That held it up. Yep. Trump said, there ain't no way I'm ever signing anything like that. She threw the digital dollar, wanted to go to the digital dollar. Yeah. Yep. Me and Doug been preaching about the Bilderberg Group pretty much since we started this show.
Yep.
I mean, it's not hard to find Bilderberg.
Yep. And look at the people on there. Holy moly.
Yeah. You'll shit your pants when you see.
Yeah, there's some surprising people in there when you go through that list. And it does change over a course of 2 years.
Yeah. Awful funny, Bill and Melinda Gates are on that.
Yep. Separately.
Yes. Well, they're separated now. He would like his personal life kept confidential. Though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just like Dr. Fauci has no dealings with Bill Gates, but they show pictures of them together quite a bit. You ain't heard nothing out of that quack, have you?
No.
What's up with that? What's he saying? Thank God we got a stupid president causing all this shit in Afghanistan. It took the heat right off me.
No doubt.
Huh? He's sitting back up there at his desk and whoo. I thought I was going up on charges for a minute. This guy just trumped over my ass with what he did. You know, I mean, oh, yeah. Yeah. Bill Gates believes, what is it, Doug? I'm going to be off on the numbers, use people. So there's 7.2 billion people in the world. Is that
Okay.
what it was?
Yeah.
Bill Gates believes we should be at 4.85 billion in
Worldwide.
world, the whole world. So I guess if you take India and China out of the equation, we'll be at 4. India is the most populated country, I believe, in the whole world. What are they at? Like 1.7 billion? I believe they're over China now. Ruth's Bacon. Hey, Ruth's Bacon was sold. Now, I don't know who bought it, Cal. Ruth's Bacon was sold a year or 18 months ago.
Roots or Roth?
Ruth. Ruth's Packing is a meat packing plant on Bogart Road between, out by Castalia of pork. They process pork there. And it was sold, could have been 2 years ago. I can't remember. But I can't remember. Cal, you might know more than me. I can't remember. It might have been a foreign-based company that bought that. They come in, they got all the money.
China has 1.4.
China has 1.4 billion. And India's got 1.7, I believe.
It says millions. I can't believe that's true.
No. China's got
world population 7.9 billion.
I was off by a few hundred million.
Yeah, see, why does anybody believe us?
Yeah, I'm throwing numbers out my ass and they're close enough. Now, if I just throw $100 bills out it, I'd be in good shape. That
would be awesome.
But you know what? I'll research that, Cal. Ronnie, I don't know if you're saying China to him or not. I'll research that and find out who bought that.
I'm trying right now.
Huh?
I'm trying right now. I can't.
The executive producer's trying to find it right now, Doug.
What's she trying to find?
Hey. Uh-oh. It's one of my classmates, Shannon O'Connor. Mr. Fiedlin would be proud of me. He was a cool ass. Yeah, I know. He was a cool ass teacher. He was a good guy. But thanks for watching, Shannon. But getting back to it, they own, if you research it, they own 60, 70, I can't remember. Doug, we knew this last year. We were talking about it. 60, 70% of our processing plants are owned by Chinese. Mm-hmm. Smithfield Meat's the big one. That's when China says, okay, we got a COVID case. Remember last March, April? We got a COVID case in one of our, we had to shut the plant down. You're going to the store, you're only buying 2 fresh meats. Everything was, they created the panic.
And don't forget what we always say, when there's something going on, something's always going on behind the scenes. They've got everybody's attention directed on this Afghanistan stuff. So something big's coming.
Yeah, through the Congress. The fence is still up. You know that, right, Doug? The fence is still up.
Thought they took that down.
I believe the fence is still up. You ain't heard shit about the fence. I believe they kept the fence up around Capitol Hill. Check on it. I'm pretty sure they did. You know. Ronnie, that's what I thought. It was a Chinese-based company. I wasn't sure. Dean might know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There's another one. But anyways, I believe the fence is still up, Doug. But here's what happens. Afghanistan's one of the worst things that ever happened in this country. There ain't no two ways about it. But all our attention is on Afghanistan. All of it. If it's not on Afghanistan right now, it's on COVID and masks and the vaccine.
Yep. Watch your news. That's what it is.
And poof, you watch what bills slip through. And 3-4 months from now, they can't do that. Well, they passed that bill back in August.
Right. The gun bill, the
gun bill that we've been crying.
Voting bill.
We've been crying about. There's 3 bills that we've been crying about since January on this show. The gun bill, with the way they got their licensing and everything, is going to make it almost impossible to own guns.
Yep.
And that's changed bill numbers. I believe it's probably on its 4th, 5th bill number. So you can't, to try to track that gun bills, it's hard. It's going to take you a couple hours. The voting bill's still there, people. 16 and up to vote.
I don't think that went away.
Undocumented, which is illegal aliens, because they don't want us calling that no more, because they got feelings too, you know. Undocumented. If you've been in the country 1 year undocumented, you're allowed to vote. Is that an oxymoron or what, Doug? If you've been in the country 1 year and you're undocumented, you're allowed to vote. How the fuck do we know how long you've been in the country? Because you've been undocumented.
Right.
Am I wrong? Who thinks this shit? If you're undocumented and in the country for a year, well, how do I know? You walk up to me, I come across the border, I'm undocumented. Well, how long have you been in the country? 13 months. I can vote now. Me vote, right? Me vote. You know, let's not forget that we spent $83 million for hotels for illegal aliens that come in, Doug, because Lord forbid that, you know, we want to be uncomfortable.
But we put our military guys in a garage to sleep on the concrete.
Yeah. But we gave them cookies and pizza.
That's right. That was nice.
The president, the first lady, fed them cookies and pizza.
Unbeknownst
the very next day
to Walter.
We should have known Walter, because we can't call him Biden. If we say anything out of line, we'll get 30 days in a hole. So Walter Biden, the very next day, this should have been an indication back in when he got inaugurated. The very next day, come and told him, remember that, Doug? Me and you were laughing. Told the press, I wasn't aware that was happening. Meanwhile, former President Trump invited the military that was off and not on guard when they were off duty to his hotel. Remember that, Doug? Because he found out there in a parking garage and he's got a hotel somewhere close. Invited him to stay in their hotel. That offer was turned down by no other than President Walter. You can't make this shit up.
We told you this was going to happen about a month, 2 months ago.
Yeah, we said it
didn't
was
know
coming.
They were Mexicans, but
we said it was coming. We said the Afghans, which that delivery took place last Friday or sometime this past week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
where they dropped Afghans off, come right out of Afghanistan into Cleveland.
Yep. Cleveland is welcoming them.
Bust them in. Cleveland welcome them in.
Bring them in.
They probably got off the bus and went, I'll go back to Afghanistan, please. In Cleveland, but
oh boy, this is a bad place.
Me not sure.
We're getting shot at.
I feel at home. But
Mexico.
Yeah. So did you guys hear what Cuntilo said this week about the veterans and the VA hospitals? Research it. Research this. The VA hospitals are coddling our veterans too much. They need to get along with it and get back to productive to society. I didn't say that. Our vice president said it.
Okay. Shannon, was that House Bill 248 Ohio or U.S.? And by the way, the Firearm Licensing and Registration Act is House Resolution 127, and it is still introduced by Sabika Sheik, one of the squads.
Yeah, from Texas, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So, yeah, it is very pathetic, Tammy. And if that don't make your blood boil, I don't know what would. You know that she would say such a thing. You know, here's a woman's response to, have you been to the Mexican United States border yet? Well, no, but I haven't been to Europe either. With that laugh. So, you know, hey,
I'm going to
sorry.
Vietnam.
Sorry, you know, so yeah, she goes to Vietnam. And how ironic. Stop and think of this, people. How ironic. Biden comes out July 8th and says, this will not be another Saigon where we're airlifting people off our embassy to get them out. We're airlifting people off our embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan, to get them the hell out of there, Doug. And Kuntalas in Vietnam.
Right. Ohio House Bill 248 is Enact Vaccine Choice and Anti-Discrimination Act, meaning prohibit mandatory vaccinations, status disclosure, and certain other actions regarding vaccinations.
That's trying to be passed through a few states right now. I think Texas, Florida.
Well, thank Jennifer Gross.
I would ask Rob Cisco, but Facebook, you gave him 30 days in Facebook jail, yanked him right off the show. For what? I have no idea.
I don't see our buddy on here.
Who?
Swearingen.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe he was absent that day.
But, you know, that I'm not aware of that bill. That's first I heard of that, aren't you, Doug?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, Cal. You give, and I'm going to go back to something, Doug. I said, for what he did with the weapons and the equipment and everything, that's treason. It's treason at its highest. But for what he did to a couple hundred Americans by giving them names and addresses of where they're at, along with some of the Afghans that helped the United States for years, it is another form of treason in my eyes. And leaving them there, well, announcing, we're all out of Afghanistan, pat me on the back. Well, you just wrote a death sentence to 200 Americans. Why would we pat you on the back? You wrote a death sentence, 13 kids. 13 kids. And that's what some of them were a little older, Doug. 13 American soldiers lost their lives because of your stupidity. Lost their lives because of your stupidity. It's treason. There's many acts of treason. HK Property Holdings.
How about in Florida?
Oh, there you go, Doug. You got something to look up for this week.
What's that?
HK Property Holdings. Find out where they're out of Florida. Our executive producer's talking to me, Doug. I'm sorry. It seems like she wants to be a part of the show more than anybody. You know,
yeah.
Oh, because I want to sit out here and smoke. And then she's commenting on the show. You know, the problem you got. Let's go back, Shannon. You just started watching the show. Let's go back because we bring this up a lot. Let's go back to January, the end of January, Doug. We started screaming on this show Pay attention to what's going on. They're trying to push a bill through. The bill reads, it went through. It went through. 3 months later, when it started being enacted, everybody's screaming about it. An employer can require you, make it mandatory you have the vaccination, or you can be terminated with no repercussions, period. That was a federal. That was voted federally and went through.
Right.
What you also don't understand is in that bill, remember this, Doug? It also stated Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer, any manufacturer of a vaccine cannot be sued if you have complications, reactions, even death of that vaccine, along with the government. You can't sue them. Remember that, Doug? We're
Right.
fucking
Yep.
screaming about it.
Yep.
And you know what? We all got stimulus checks right around that time. And we're all at Walmart buying 75-inch TVs because you could have bought it 2 months before that for $1,200. But Walmart upped the price right before the stimulus check to $1,700.
Now it's now
we're
you're all,
rolling back. We're rolling back. You can get it for $1,150.
Because yesterday it was 1,800, now
Yeah.
it's 1,700.
And y'all were buying your 75-inch TVs, and the bill went right through, and nobody even give a shit. And 3 months later, what's this all about? Well, I don't know. We told you 3 months ago it was going in. Same with the voter bill, Doug.
Okay, so
Fucking kids eating Tide Pods 2 years ago, and now we're going to let them vote. They walk up to a bathroom and see a man here. Men, women. I'm confused.
No.
I don't know what to do.
Why do I have to make a choice?
There's a third one that says either or.
So, speaking of that, not so much that, but high school where they get real confused. The required assessment for high school graduation now is law. You do not have to do that. They eliminated that effective next month.
All right, so you don't have to have the assessment to graduate?
No, you can be as dumb as you want to be, and off you go.
All right, because here's a diploma for everybody.
Here's your participation.
Here you go. Well, what about the GED? Who brought that up? What about that now? So you just walk in, sign up. Hey, I want to take the GED. Here you go.
Hold on. There's still a minimum to graduate, but you don't have to take an assessment to see that you retained everything. So if you do well in the classes, you'll be fine. And also your cigarette thing is minimum pricing is now effective September 30th as well.
Because they passed it.
Mm-hmm.
So how much tax is going on that now?
Let me look at it.
Cigarettes going to be fucking $10 a pack.
That's not.
They did legalize marijuana. So you know what, Doug?
They did?
Yeah, you said that last week.
They are in the midst of it. I didn't know that it was.
Let me know the day that they do. I might smoke a joint right on this show. You all can watch me get stoned off my ass. What are they going to do? You guys don't think I got a hair in my ass smoke a joint on this show if they pass it, do you? Watch, the next day DOT and Coast Guard will be calling for a drug test. I got a problem, Mike.
We're allowed to do it here now. I love my job now.
Yeah, I love my job. M. Shaw. You want to talk about M. Shaw?
Oh, boy.
Dirty fucking pricks. Yeah, I don't care. I like they're watching my show.
You never know.
Yeah, watch. I'll go in tomorrow. Herbert, what did you call me, Chris?
I would have to read this whole thing to find out what they're going to do with your cigarettes. What happened?
Dean, I ain't smoked a joint.
I cannot hear you.
Uh-oh. Did I get cut off? Hello?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah, Dean, I ain't smoked a joint in over 30 years. Not that I smoked pot, Tammy, Shannon. You guys don't be saying that.
I have never done it, and I'm not a schoolboy or choir boy or whatever you want to say. Far from it.
You know, I used to smoke a lot of pot in high school. It was all Shannon O'Connor's fault. I'm just kidding. Come on, I had to pick on her. Tammy Spears too. Remember, I used to walk up to the lockers. You got my bag? 2 fingers. Remember that? 2 dime bag. I don't even think they use them terms no more, do they?
I don't think so.
Could you imagine me walking up to some young kid selling pot now that, hey man, you got 2 fingers? 2 fingers. What the fuck's that?
What?
Here's my $20. $20. Here's 2 joints. What?
Unfortunately, still in the introduction phase is the cookie and the license plates.
Hey, put Joe's comment up real quick. That's been looked at. You know who I just talked about that with? It was Jerry and Laura Smith. They're re-upping their life insurance. That you have to look, because most life insurances right now will not cover COVID now. So stop and think. If the life insurances don't cover COVID, a lot of them don't, and you don't catch that, how much money did the life insurance companies, Doug, that give life insurance, save through this pandemic?
Sounds like one of them reading math problems. So if your life insurance company charged you X amount of dollars per month, you died of COVID, they're not going to pay anything. So how much money did?
Let's fall back. Let's Joe. Let's fall back. Let's fall back on what I was talking about a week or two. The CDC numbers. Remember, Doug? I go in. Remember that chart that I sent you that one day, and I was flipping out. Okay, it says you go to the CDC. You can look this up. Go to CDC and look at the death numbers, and you get a chart, and it says COVID-19 with pneumonia, X amount of people. Remember that, Doug? COVID-19 with heart condition, X heart attack, COVID-19 with stroke, COVID-19 with this. Then it says true COVID-19 number of deaths, and believe me, when you look at it, you're going to get pissed off, because true COVID death is way down the ladder. But you go in and have a heart attack, and remember before the testing was available like it is now and everything, you could have a heart attack. When you have a heart attack, you spike a fever, Doug. A stroke, you spike a fever. Fever was a symptom, right? Yeah. The guy's had a heart attack and just died. What are you going to ask him? Sir, how was your taste and smell before you passed away? So what they were doing is they were putting COVID-19 with it. Because if you guys can all remember, back then, we're under a state of emergency, hospitals got paid for certain, things. Well, once they put COVID-19, the life insurance policies were void. Didn't have to pay. You're right, Chaz. Billions of dollars. I don't know. But I guarantee you they had it on there, Paul.
I will look that up, because I'm seeing both sides. I see where Verify has looked it up and said that's not true. It will cover.
I don't know. Yeah, they did. And Shannon, you're absolutely right. Doug, we researched that as far as your childhood vaccines. But COVID-19 vaccine wasn't included in that. And when they passed this bill in January, they interject. Remember that, Doug? We were discussing that. Mm-hmm. They interjected the manufacturers of COVID-19 into that bill to make sure, but they not only interjected the manufacturers of COVID-19 vaccine, they interjected the government themselves, because the government, which should have told you back in January last year, the government was going to force it on us. You were going to get forced to take it. They were going to try to force it.
Right.
Now, for Biden to sit there and tell everybody in this country, though, quote unquote, not my words, his, if you don't get the vaccine, you might as well be considered a terrorist of the country. He said that last week.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to my body, my choice? Because you've used that for years against abortion. You know? Yeah. It sure did, Ronnie. Doug and me brought it up, what, a month ago, right?
Yep.
We're questioning. Well, get ready.
They knew it was.
It's going to flare. We're going to see spikes in numbers by fall. How do you know it's going to spike in numbers? You just got done telling us if we all get the vaccine in January, if we all get the vaccine and be good little bitches, we could have our 4th of July. Remember that, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
That come out of Walter's mouth.
Right.
Well, go tell my birth mother about getting a vaccine, how it's going to help her. You ain't going to be able to talk to her, trust me. She ain't alive no more. Fully vaccinated. So it goes both ways. Now, what come out today, I don't know if anybody else caught it. Remember the 8 months? 8 months or after they want you to get the booster, Doug? They want the booster. If you've had your shot and it's been 8 months or after, we want you to get the booster shot. Today it come out, they're lowering that down to 6 months, Doug. Who the fuck's doing this research? I mean, seriously, how can they? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yes. Yes, you are. And this was a topic. This was a topic of discussion already within work. Unfortunately, when you go to get your CDL, I'm not sure, Cal, when that goes into effect. If it's in effect now, I'm not sure, but it's going to be in effect, I know, by 2022. When you go get your CDL, Doug, you got to renew it and everything BMV. Well, you have to have a physical. You have to go to the doctor, get a physical card. With that physical card, you're going to have to show proof with the vaccine card that you've been vaccinated before they will renew your CDL. Now, what they're also going, I don't know if anybody's going to follow me or not, you have to have a TWIC card to go into any government, like, you know, like we go to the port of Cleveland.
On the ports, yep.
And dump, you know, we dump armor rock for the Corps engineers. On that TWIC card, because you're on federal property now. I believe by 2022, you're going to have to show vaccination or they're not renewing your TWIC card. Or you can't get one. And anybody that had the TWIC card up to 22, they got to renew it. And you're going to have to show a vaccine card or you're not going to be allowed to get the TWIC card and allowed to enter the port. So it's still your body, your choice. The choices you make, though, they're going to find a way to, you know, they're going to take your livelihoods away and everything else. Now, me personally, I don't give a shit if you got it or not. I don't care. It's your choice. It don't bother me. I went and got it. And this is what got us yanked off YouTube after I got it. Remember, Doug? That's what got us yanked.
Yeah.
I haven't felt right since. That's me. So it's up to you. It's up to you, but you're not going to be able to get on which airline was that we were talking about?
Delta
Airlines. When's that going to effect? Next month, I think.
I think it's already in effect.
Is it in effect? If you do not have a vaccine card, it's $200 or $250
You pay a $200 fee.
on top of your ticket because you're not vaccinated. You have to have a vaccine card in the state of New York and the city of New York to go into a restaurant and sit down and eat. You have to show a vaccine card right now, Doug. And I believe by the 13th of next month, September, I believe it'll be statewide. You have to show a card to go into a restaurant and sit down and eat. You go in the same fucking city and state and walk in a voting booth and not even have to show a goddamn ID.
Right.
Figure that one out, folks. Delta. Yep, Joe. Delta's charging you a $200, $200 fee if you don't show a vaccine card. You're right. I think it.
Yeah, for insurance.
Yeah, for insurance costs.
All right, we've been on here 2 hours.
Wait.
Go ahead.
And I'll shut up then. I know that's hard to do with me sometimes. For insurance costs, right? That's what they're claiming. How the hell can they claim that when it's already proven fact and they've told us you can still carry the virus, give the virus, and catch the virus being vaccinated? Shit that makes you go,
Mm-hmm.
We've been on 2 hours. Holy shit.
2 hours.
Doug talks too much, people.
Thanks for listening to Chris's ramblings.
In closing, which I was going to keep short, but what you put over in that comment section, we don't give two shits what you write in that comment section. We'll never tell you, since if you get stupid against us or something that we don't like, we'll boot you right off. But if you got an opinion about what we're talking about, I don't care what you say. Yeah, I don't care.
It's healthy. It's healthy to have debate.
But I'm not responsible, and Doug's not responsible if Facebook boots you. And it just happened tonight. It happened last week. Happened tonight. We've been telling you guys they've been watching us.
Because we're dangerous.
Yeah, our little old show with how many ever viewers and people reached, and they're worried about us. Never mind the other shit going on in the world. Because you got an opinion, people. Doug's got an opinion. I got an opinion. We express it on this show. That's what it's all about. And you people have opinions, and I want you to express them. I mean, it makes me happy to get off this. And Doug, we got 200 comments or something. At least you're interacting, saying what you feel. Facebook don't want to see that shit. They don't want to see you say something out of their fucking agenda that they have. I'm not going to go off, Doug, but Facebook can kiss my ass. It's a bullshit fucking deal what they did to Rob Cisco. He said nothing out of line, and they're just headhunting him. The poor guy can't even get on for 5 days, and if he says hello world, boom, well, I don't know what your intentions were, but we're not going to know.
All right, you're talking to the whole world.
You're talking to the whole world, and that's unacceptable with us because we don't know what you're going to say next. So 30 days in a hole.
All right. Yeah, this is a holiday weekend coming up.
Yes, it is. So where are we going? Monday night next week? Sunday?
Whatever you want to do there, Chris.
We'll go back to Sunday. Yeah. No, we'll go to Monday night. And we'll probably, you know what? We'll probably start going Monday nights. Getting into Monday night football too. Jeez, please.
Who cares about that?
Yeah, but we might go to Monday nights, getting into the off season. We might. What?
That doesn't really matter, because then you're not racing on Saturday nights.
Oh.
We'll go Monday night next week, and we'll let you know what the hell the executive producer decides, Doug.
right, because that's ultimately who decides.
All right, people. So watch us tomorrow night. Snow Speedway Live, Snow Speedway Facebook page. We're a little bit milder. We don't talk politics on that. Starts 7:30. Ohio Wheelman Series. Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. Thursdays, At Will with Bill, Doug. Bill Rabbit's got his Facebook Live going at 6 o'clock. At Will with Bill. He goes over a whole variety of stuff, politics, racing, everything. And it's uncensored. You speak your opinions. He speaks his opinions just like us. And it's, you know.
Does he agree or disagree with us?
He agrees on a lot of stuff. I mean,
then that wouldn't be good to have him on. We want somebody that disagrees.
And that's at 6 o'clock. Hammer Down Racing Report comes on at 7 o'clock. And then Shady Bowl Speedway comes on at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
you got all these podcasts you can watch.
And then we'll see you next Monday on here. And please, I know the 13 soldiers just come home in caskets, gave the ultimate sacrifice. Max Soviaks from around this area. Please pray for their families. You know, God bless them. Soldiers, rest in peace. But also pray for the many other soldiers before them in the last 20 years and their families that have gave the ultimate sacrifice or come home with one leg dug or you know, injured, marred for life, the trauma they've seen. Pray for them, please. Not only them, any other veteran that served and lost their life throughout the country. I mean, throughout the whole time. Pray for them people. Pray for their families. And God bless America. God bless our troops.
See ya.